you love playing the Crucible, but you're not too hot when it comes to the PvP side of Destiny 2. To be honest with you, neither am I. My skill set's average, maybe slightly above average on my better days, but even that's debatable. I do spend a good amount of time in the Crucible though, and I've learned some things over the last 5 years of playing Destiny, and I'd like to share those things with you. First, let me preface this by saying, this video is not made for the upper echelon of PvP players. You know, those players who will dodge, sprint, slide, double jump, and pop 2 heads with a sniper rifle before their feet hit the ground. This video may not even make sense to those type of players, but that's alright. This video is for the weekend warriors who just want to have fun with their buds, those who don't have a lot of time to play, practice, and improve, or for people like me with old man reflexes who button fumble and panic when things get a little too hot and heated. So, what may seem counterintuitive to a seasoned Crucible veteran can sometimes work for players like us. First thing we need to talk about is our loadout. While this video is not meant to be class or subclass specific, I am running my Middle Tree Voidwalker Warlock. I like the handheld Supernova as a great survivability tool, as well as a healing rift. I'm using Controverse Hold for maximum grenade uptime, and I am maxed out in recovery, which is the most important PvP stat, but we'll get into that another time. So as far as weapons, what are we going to bring into the match? What we want to do is keep things simple. We want to put bullets downrange. A pulse rifle, such as this Go Figure, is a good option, paired with a shotgun if your enemies get in a little too tight. An auto rifle, like the Steel Feather Repeater, is also fine if you're more comfortable holding the trigger instead of tapping it. In your secondary slot, a fusion rifle can be very strong if you can get a good feel for the charge up time. Sidearms and submachine guns require a slightly more aggressive playstyle to make work, while bows, hand cannons, scout rifles, snipers require a degree of precision that us common folk may or may not possess. So let's stick with autos and pulses for now. As far as heavy weapons go, I am running the Wardcliff Coil, but there's several weapons in this heavy slot that you should be able to make work. Now, as a lower skill player, when we hop into a Crucible match, either solo or with some buddies, we need to realize we have a job to do. And I know you probably already have a job and you have no interest in picking up another one. You play video games to have fun. So do I, but hear me out. Winning is fun, right? It's far more enjoyable when your team comes out on top, as opposed to being on the wrong end of a one-sided pub stomping. Seeing your name near the top of the scoreboard is also fun, right? It can be extremely frustrating to see your name on the bottom of the list match after match with a 0.3 efficiency. So if the word job is a little off-putting to you, let's just call it a task, of which you have 2. Just focusing on 2 simple tasks can make your Crucible experience much more enjoyable. That's right, just support your team and stay alive. So how do we support our team? We can do this by hanging near teammates and putting damage on targets, so either you can secure a kill on an already wounded enemy, or so your teammate can clean up a kill on an opposing player that you put damage on. This is why we like autos and pulses. They can shine in the hands of a novice in these team shot situations and rack up defeats for you. Also, be mindful of the objectives. If there's an uncontested point in the control game mode, go ahead and capture it for your team. The number of points you hold directly correlates with the number of points your team receives with each kill. On the same hand, if you see a teammate taking a point, feel free to hop on and help out. Not only will you capture the point faster, but the enemy may be on the way, and your buddy may need a hand dealing with them. This brings us to your second task. Stay alive. Treat each life in this game like it is precious. Dying hurts your team in 2 ways. Your enemy gains points, and your team is short-handed for a period of time while you're respawning. While some deaths are pretty much unavoidable, a majority of them can be avoided by making smart decisions. The number one factor that causes our efficiency ratings to be so low is taking far too many of these avoidable deaths. We really need to work on limiting these. So how can we do that? We can start by keeping both our enemies and our teammates in front of us. Play a few steps behind your friendlies and always be looking toward the red on the radar. If an enemy is moving in from the side, rotate around your team and get ready to engage. In most situations, the enemy will target the player closer to them, which gives you a few extra moments to put some bullets their way. Another way we can limit our deaths is not engaging the enemy solo. Remember, we are not high skill players. We have bad aim, and we are not using dueling weapons. Auto rifles and pulse rifles have a poor time to kill value when compared to some of the meta hand cannons and submachine guns. The trade-off is ease of use, and we need weapons that are easy to use. Even if you want to try your luck in what you think is a 1v1, you may find out it's actually a 1v2, or a 1v3, or a 1v their whole team after you've already committed to it, resulting in one more unnecessary death. Next, I want to break down a couple plays of me making bad decisions, just to drive the point home. Here we're getting kill on an enemy, doing some damage ticks, and I see most of my team is toward A. Instead of moving with them, I stick at B and notice an enemy is capturing it. I see two enemies moving off to the left, but instead I keep running toward B, and lo and behold, one of the enemies to the left had left the point and ran toward the heavy. But there's another enemy in the background there. We're taking heavy damage from him, and instead of retreating, what do? We charge up our handheld supernova, dive around the point straight at the enemy, already damaged, and take one on the chin, taking another avoidable death. So here we are on distant shore, trying to get back to my team. But lo and behold, I see a solo enemy guardian. Instead of moving back to my team, I try to make the same bonehead play I made in the last clip. I dive over a piece of cover, but he's already motoring. He's gone. I see a guardian to the right, and we have another one that just popped out of the doorway. At this point, there's nothing I can do. I'm in trouble. I try to run, but it's too late here. There is another avoidable death. Okay, one more for you here. Here we are at Citadel, team fighting over B. Things are looking pretty good. Enemies are going down. We're playing good cover. I do my standard trick here where I jump over cover and handheld supernova nothing, but then we pop our Nova Warp. Get a kill here. Guy in at the point pops his. I get the better of him. I start circling around looking for another enemy, and I start taking damage. Super is almost up, so I panic and blow right through this doorway as my super ends. And if you notice the Guardian off to the left there, he is about to stuff his shotgun in my face. And down we go again. So, as you can see, those were 3 totally avoidable deaths that would not have happened with smart gameplay. And I'm sure as you were watching them, you were wondering what in the heck I was thinking. But that's what a lot of it boils down to, playing smart. We all make dumb decisions from time to time, but just because our aim, movement, or general skill set isn't as well refined as some players, doesn't mean we have to let them dominate us in the Crucible. 2 of the 3 matches in the background gameplay, Citadel and Distant Shore, we ended up losing, but we had a good showing in both. So I'll put those on screen just so you can check it out. Alright, that's just about going to do it. I really hope you found this video useful if you are a lower tier Crucible player. I know there are a lot of great Crucible guides out there about practicing and improving your skill set, what you can work on. But I wanted to make a video for people who are kind of strapped for time or don't play very much, just to kind of work with what they got to improve their Crucible experience. If you are one of those seasoned Crucible veterans and you know somebody who could benefit from this video, if you think my advice is valid, please feel free to pass it along to them. I've wanted to make a guide like this for a long time to try to help people. If you did like the video, please give it a thumbs up. I do plan on making more guides in the future, so if you want to see them, please consider subscribing and maybe we can deep dive into some more specific aspects of things. Constructive criticism is always appreciated if you'd like to leave a comment. And I do stream on Twitch if you'd like to catch me live. I am Ironworker814 over there also, so stop in and say hi. And thank you so much for watching my video. Every click means so much to me, and I mean that sincerely. Thank you again, and I hope to see you on the next one.